It's August 2023, it is hot outside, and another thing that's been heating up is the use of concessions in real estate. In the month of July alone, I was able to negotiate for concessions for my buyers in the amounts of $6,000, $15,000, $17,500, and I got a buyer into a new build and the builder was offering over $10,000 concessions, and I had a listing that closed and it made sense for my seller to offer concessions to the buyer. In other words, concessions are a big deal in this market. So what are concessions? The word concessions in real estate typically refers to a dollar amount that is offered from the seller to the buyer at closing. So if you're a buyer, why would you ask for concessions? The reason is because you can use that money to cover closing costs. You can use that money to pay a lender to buy down your interest rate. I've even had buyers use seller concessions to pay off a credit card. There are so many options for using concessions. Now, if you're a seller, why would you offer concessions? One reason is that it's easier to get a deal to the closing table if concessions are involved instead of repairs. So if both sides agree that repairs need to be done, those repairs need to be written up in an amendment, and that needs to be shown to a lender and a title company. You need to do the work, you need to have receipts provided for the work, and then everybody has to sign off on those repairs before closing. On the other hand, if you simply offer concessions, negotiations are over. The deal is headed to the closing table, and if the buyer runs into any issues with financing, the lender can use those concessions as leeway to make sure the buyer is qualified to close. Maybe the lender can use some of those concessions to lower the buyer's interest rate, and the buyer can simply fix that leaky faucet later. The whole process of getting a deal to the closing table becomes less stressful for the seller when concessions are involved instead of repairs. So I know this was a very specific market update for the month of August, but I think it's important to grasp the importance of the concept of concessions in this market, especially if you have someone who is negotiating for those concessions to be used to serve your best interests. I would love to be that person. If you don't already have somebody who is helping you reach your real estate goals, just go to loganwalter.com to start the conversation. I'll be back in September with another update.